Welcome back to another episode of Unranked Podcast. Coming y'all January 17th. And the Lions locked up their first playoff win in about 30 years. Just an exciting game, exciting victory. Just as a fan, obviously you and I both have been Lions fans since we were born. So just to kind of see everything from the 0-16 to all the bad wide receiver draft picks made Sunday more than worth it, even though it did have to be against one of our former Lions. But yeah, I'll kick it off to you to just kind of see how you thought the game went on Sunday night.
Yeah, no, I was ecstatic just to see them show up. Ecstatic to see, home playoff game at Ford Field, first home playoff game at Ford Field. Like you said, first playoff victory and since the beginning of 1992. So not in my lifetime, not in your lifetime, which is
Yeah.
pretty honestly hard to do when you think about it from that point of view. So the team looks like they've done their best over the last, 30 years to be bad, but that have seemed to turn around over the last couple of years. And it's just great to see, the resurgence of the team, how the team is mostly built, offensive line, run game, defense has holes on it, but there's some fighters, has a lot of key pieces. So I think the team is built pretty well also. And it's good just to see all of that pan out. Not staying away from the sexy picks, staying away from bad contracts, and just really taking the time to build that team inside out, offensive line out, run game out, and you know, good. What was it end up being a 1 point victory? Good 1 point win. We'll take it whatever way it comes. It was just a great experience. Stafford, he's finally went and got one down at the Rams. Couldn't seem to get it done here. A couple of times he made the playoffs. And Golf finally got the monkey off his back. Dan Campbell got a playoff win, much needed for everybody. Just the confidence to show that what they have been doing is working. I think winning the division was a success. A success. Making the playoffs was a success. But we both said sometime mid-season that a playoff win should be the main goal for this team. So watch them get that done, and it was phenomenal. And just dude, how the dominoes fell, how the cards fell. Another home playoff game coming up this week. So I'm just excited to see that as well. But overall, just a good solid win. Not nothing really jumps off the page on it. Other than how our defense gets torched without giving up points, uh,
Mhm.
which is a crazy thing that you don't want to depend on that much.
Right.
But that would be the one key that jumps off to me is just defense getting torched, but finding a way to win. And whenever we play a good quarterback, we seem to get torched, but we're um, putting those victories under our belt. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I would say this is probably closer to one of the most complete games I feel like as a team. We're like firing all cylinders. I think defense, I'm to the point in the season where it's just bend but don't break. We've gotten lucky, guys, get some key turnovers here and there. But yeah, I can't help but find it impressive that we're giving up 350 passing yards a game and still finding a way, to come out with the victory. So I definitely want to give credit to the defense, only giving up 23 points to where Stafford, I mean, he was rolling from the jump. No look passes out the gate, hitting Puka Nakua, big plays. They definitely were throwing some haymakers from that side. But I like how the defense is really responding. But yeah, I mean, not to repeat everything you said, but man, I'm happy for Jared Goff. It was kind of like interesting, kind of like what leading up to the game. I came across a clip where they're literally going back to like Sean McVay, essentially saying like he didn't want no part of playing with or having Jared Goff as his quarterback. That trade going down, Jared Goff not even thinking that it was going to go down the way that it did. That just like seeing how he went out there played because I was kind of nervous. They was in there chanting Jared Goff, like really I was like kind of thinking like this would be one of them situations where he might come up short just because of like what the moment is being
right.
presented to him. But he did the exact opposite. I only had 5 incompletions, came out there firing. I mean, just dicing up their defense and yeah, I mean this is probably one of the most satisfying victories that I was able to witness and yeah, just looking forward to seeing we can get another one of this upcoming Sunday.
Yeah, no, and I think just to talk about that for a moment, the dynamic of us having Stafford for what 12 seasons.
Hmm.
Um, we drafted him the year we went on 16, so I think we he came in right after that. But handing him the keys to a complete shit show in all the coaching blenders and draft blenders, and this guy's going to work and that guy, I think so. He rolled the wave with us for a while and had a couple of fantastic statistical seasons, had a
Yeah.
couple of um, good winning seasons under Caldwell. So it was interesting to see. But I think two things can be true. Any day of the week, I'll tell you Stafford's a better quarterback than Goff. It's not a question.
Hmm.
But I think for what we want Goff to do, I don't know if Stafford's happy in that equation. He's obviously happy winning games, but he wants to sling that ball. And what they want need Stafford to do with the Rams, Goff can't do.
Hmm.
Goff is good, um, for lack of a better term, system quarterback. Things got to be right for him. Things got to go well. He's calculated. From time to time, he'll give you a good deep ball, but most things is within, with what 20 yards, and he's very
Yeah,
accurate from in there. And well, so I think we have our quarterback, but we also need to know what it's true. And what's true about him is we need that run game firing. We need the defense to step up and keep getting field goals. Like the Rams, they were 3 field goals at the end of the game. Um, that or not that game, but throughout the game,
yeah.
major that we can get those points there. Um, and they let us get a little physical. We were grabbing Puka Natua, we were throwing him around a little bit. Cooper Cup, not the biggest fan of him, but they were forcing him the ball throughout. Trying to get things going, how they get things going,
Like you
and
said, I don't like them, but
yeah, no, I mean yeah, he had a fantastic year. He got that bag, but
yeah.
I don't know if he'll have that the rest of his career added up. I could be, put my foot in my mouth in that statement. But regardless, you know, we, we have a good arsenal of weapons on our squad as well. And
Yeah.
I like what we can do when all things are firing. That run game,
Hmm.
play action to Laporta, play action to the best possession receiver in the game, probably St. Brown. And then just, the little speedster that we don't bring out all that often, and Jameson Williams, and just I think he blew the top off the defense for probably good. I don't kind of blanking, but a good 35, 40 yard touchdown before. Last time we played the Buccaneers, I believe that game was on the road as well.
Hmm.
So good just to get those boys at home, and I'm looking forward to this game. I mean, I don't know, just the everything this game means, is good.
For sure. Yeah, no, I think it's a good segue just to kind of discuss just some of the keys to victory when it comes to playing the Buccaneers. So I feel like one of the big things, this is definitely not the same team they played in October, and I think everybody obviously is aware of that. Baker wasn't playing all that great. I think he might have threw a couple picks, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Offense, they did what they had, offensively, they weren't really rolling as well as they are or playing as well as they are right now. One thing I do like in our favor is that we had CJ Gardner Johnson, James Houston, a couple old linemen out, lost David Montgomery second quarter, also
Mhm.
didn't have Jameer Gibbs, and still found a way to get that game. So I think just getting, a good majority of those pieces back. I know we're still kind of waiting on James Houston. I feel like there's a lot of talk about him coming back for like last 2 weeks, but it still feels like he's not as close as like what they're kind of like leading on to, or I guess what the media is kind of saying. But yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to us continuing to do what we've been doing. And as we get more and more later into the year, I know when the season ended, we were kind of having them weeks where the defense was showing up, but the offense wasn't. The offense was showing up, but the defense wasn't. Just kind of taking turns, kind of carrying the other side of the ball. So I hope as we get deeper into this run, they can play complementary football in all three phases. That was the other thing too. Like even special teams against the Rams, they crushed it.
Yep.
So hopefully we can take some of that take the momentum that we had in this game over to the Bucs game and handle business with them too.
No, no, I think you just said the biggest key to there. That's just complementary football. I think that's when we're firing on all cylinders.
Mhm.
And I looked and we talked about the game that Golf had earlier in the year, and it looks like that was versus the Bucs. 350 passing yards, 2 touchdowns.
Mhm.
All the running backs were out. So I
Yeah.
think that's probably was the game that we were referencing. Um, and no, like you said, night and day on the type of momentum they have as a team, as a unit, type of momentum that Baker Mayfield's playing with. Uh, but I like our momentum as well. I like
Yeah.
the wrinkles that we can put in, the fact that you know we played pretty well, but we didn't. It was by far from our best game that we played versus the Rams, and we can put together one of those as well, where just things are working out. We put Ben Johnson cooks up a couple plays or two that we haven't seen before to get
Mhm.
Jay more ball in space or a screen to him or something, something that we hadn't seen before. Um, and Gibbs as well. And you brought this up maybe before we hopped on, but just go back to running that game. You're the run ball. It's that two-headed monster that we have. That can take a lot of pressure off a lot of people. That
For sure.
defense, the defense coordinator, uh, and most importantly, Jared Goff. Just relying on that run game and trying to stay ahead of the chains. I think that'd be big. And then from a defensive standpoint, um, I'm a little terrified. I'd say that. I'm not. Baker's one of them
No.
guys. You don't know which Baker's showing up, but he is flying high right now, and I think that means one of two things: either he's going to be pinpoint accurate and balling out, or he's going to potentially think he's Superman, and he's going to be willing to turn that ball over a couple of times, try to extend the play just a bit too long, let Hutch get to him, let Houston get to him, or whatever. However that works out, I think it'd be a either way, and I think we can win the game either way. It's just a matter of how we decide to play it. Looking last time, I remember Mike Evans coming off an injury. We didn't know if he was even going to play that last time around, so he was a shell of himself. Um, and any receiver that you've heard of is going for 150 plus on us for the last month straight. So um, that's a little terrifying when you consider that. Chris Godwin's still there. So I think they got some pieces that we're gonna have to step up. But I think we need from a defensive standpoint, a turnover or two would do wonders. Just to steal some points from them, give our offense the ball, and then Hutch just got to go hunting. He's
Yeah.
got to be begin to make a name for himself. Second round of the playoffs.
Mhm.
This is where if you're going to try to demand 35, $40 million from us a year coming up in a year or two, this is when you go ahead and get that done. As a guy that we watched play since he was damn near a kid or was a kid, I know he has a game or two in him where he can be real disruptive. I would love to see us two-sack game, pass deflection or two. Just get real active. And give Baker, happy feet.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's gonna be it's gonna be big on the defense. I think just as far as you hit on the head, it's all those weapons. I'll be honest, like I've been missing Jerry Jacobs. That's how inconsistent my man's Vildor has been. I mean, he's been holding his own to a certain extent, but yeah, it's been difficult to watch that second cornerback spot essentially be, like giving up quite a bit of yards, a lot of scores. But I just want to talk on like the Lions offense against the Bucs defense. I mean, a lot of these guys were on that Super Bowl team with Brady. I mean, literally, I think like a good like 8 out of 11 of these guys were on that Super Bowl team with Brady. So got
Yeah.
to tighten, got to be tight. We watched them play the Eagles this past Monday. I don't think they'll have the same game plan, but they knew they could just rush, blitz Jalen Hurts to essentially make him uncomfortable. I feel like we'll have a plan for that, a better plan, especially after watching the debacle that on Monday. I feel like it'll be key for golf to just play a clean game. Play the last few games without turnover. Almost gave one away. At when Aaron Donald got hands on him, he threw the ball with two
Oh
hands
my
and
God. What
luckily
the
rolled out of
chest the
bounds.
chest pass? What was that? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I literally, my heart literally dropped in my stomach because I was like, I don't know where this ball's about to go, but luckily it got to that sideline. But um, you already know what I'm about to say. They need to establish that run to set up the play action. to really make it to where this defense is not able to um, pin their ears back. We got to make sure we're not, we're in 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, not 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, because they'll definitely, bring 5, 6, 7 guys once it gets a little bit longer from a distance standpoint on 3rd down. So critical, critical, critical for the offense to just play another clean game because we know what that defense is going to look like,
Yeah.
essentially giving up big plays.
No, look, and I mean, last time we played him, we got three, and Jared Goff went off, but still got sacked 3 times.
Yeah.
Just looking, I mean,
Run game was
you
not
if you want to try to give it a go, you can. But Vita Vea, we just read his real name. That's worth a Google. And outside of that, but I mean, Kalijah Cansey, that D line is nice. I looked, he had 4 sacks. So a bit of a young blood in there as well, just to mix things up. So, a heavy dose of Montgomery, heavy dose of Gibbs, is in. I mean, Gibbs is one of those players that but Gibbs is one of those players that every time he gets to that second level, I think he can go.
yeah.
That's literally how I get. It's one of those players, when he gets to that linebacker level, and he is shoestrings away most of the time from breaking another 20, 30 yards. So he's an exciting player. I think just finding ways to get him the ball is not going to hurt. And Montgomery just being a workhorse,
Yeah.
between the tackles, you give him the ball 12 times. I mean, he's going to have 60 yards. It's not a doubt. You give Gibbs the ball 12 times. I mean, he'll probably pop one. He'll also have about 60 yards. So I think
Yeah.
just keep that going. That's the recipe.
Yeah, and this we we didn't really touch on it, but it was so great seeing Laporta score that touchdown and just seeing him, get 3, 4 catches and still be productive. So hopefully it sounds
Yeah,
like an impact.
I was nervous that a lot of that was a smoke screen that we were going to wear him out there and he would be a shell of
Oh yeah,
himself. But I think
right.
showing what he did last week and having another week off,
Hmm.
he'll be even better. So
For sure, because yeah, I mean they had him, in there blocking, like online, like he was pretty much doing everything that he's done before getting hurt, and yeah, I mean I feel like he'll be even more of a factor
right.
this time around. And if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this. I don't think we had him when we played the Bucs last time either, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't fact check me on that as well, but I think yeah, I mean keep saying it. I think it's just gonna come down to this offense. Hopefully we can. I saw one thing we did. With this game, got the ball first, went downfield, got a touchdown. That's almost essentially our way of our offense helping our defense play defense. It's giving them a lead to
Yes.
start off. So hopefully, if we're able to do something similar to that, I think that'll set us up for success to essentially just play keep away in a sense to be able to get that victory. So
Yeah, no, I agree. And we could definitely get into score prediction. And one thing I was just say is I just wanted to just talk about also the impact that it has on, just a small part that I read, impact it has on the city of Detroit. These playoff games, I
yes.
read that city of Detroit uh, said that $20 million came through the doors of restaurants and businesses,
Yeah,
the
you love
stadium
that.
just for um, one day of this activity. People flying in. I seen a video of they had the farthest travel person, some dude from London flew in. This
Mm,
random London dude happened to be a Detroit Lions fan. He stayed in a hotel, he ate at restaurants. So I heard that it's even going to bump up again. So another 30 million. So I mean, just to think, we're talking good $50 million just for these 2 home games that Lions going to have. That's crazy, and it's good just to see that as well. And hopefully they can make this more of an annual tradition.
for
And just
sure.
because
Yeah.
I never once thought about obviously it makes sense, but I never once thought about team like Philly, team like Chicago, even or whoever who has playoff teams year in and year out, home games,
Yeah.
Dallas, just the money that floats around and hangs around the NFL. It's unintended consequence, and it makes you made me wonder a little bit. But I hopefully that can continue because that's big time. So
Yeah, for sure. And then yeah, and just to fact check myself, I was wrong. Supporter did play against the Bucks back in October, but also just randomly the Tampa Bay Lightning just so happen to be in town playing the Red Wings too. So it's just gonna be, a great sports weekend and something
that's a
that I think the city of
good part of the
Detroit
script. Good part.
yeah. right? Something that the city of Detroit, I feel like just
Yeah.
needs. It's kind of like a shot in the arm. Got all this going on. Later on in April, we're gonna have the NFL draft, coming in there too. So yeah, it's just a very exciting time, and I hope we can continue to keep things rolling. You never know. We handle business. Somebody out in the West Coast don't handle business. Might have one more home playoff game before it's all said and done. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
100%. Yeah. You got a score prediction?
Yeah, I'll let's see. Last game was 20-6. I think I'm gonna go. I think this one would be like a 27-23. Think we'll pull out a tough one. I think they're playing really well on offense to where I feel like they're gonna give us some trouble. I could see it, kind of go a little bit going back and forth. And I think we end up coming out on top.
NFC champions. Hey, going to the NFC championship, man.
Yeah,
I'm feeling it too, man. I think, I mean, I don't know. Just thank God we're playing a Baker Mayfield who can. I mean, I just how the dominoes fall. You just the I don't know. It kind of worked out. Getting screwed in Dallas, all that stuff. Universe
yeah,
seemed to come back around. So it might be the Lions' time, man. It might be, but I'm feeling a pretty close game as well. I'm gonna go, 24-20. Lions squeak it out, pull it out. I just I do feel good. I feel good. I think Baker's gonna be our friend. Baker's gonna improve on my list after this game. I think he'll help us out a little bit. And hopefully Hutch comes out firing, establish that run game. I feel like we can put one together at home. Baker,
yeah.
biggest game of his
And
career.
we
Golf. I mean, as
also,
much shit as the stuff as we talk about golf, he's been to the Super Bowl. He's been in these deep playoff
yeah.
moments. He has a couple of notches under his belt.
Mhm.
Lights ain't never been so bright for Baker Mayfield, who realistically is playing for that the fact that he's a viable quarterback in the league. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I think one thing that kind of like an unsung hero last game that I think will help us this game too is that crowd. I mean, we got the Rams to burn two timeouts like early third
yes,
quarter and didn't have them when they needed them to try to call timeouts to save time on the clock to get the ball back at the end of the game. So, might get lucky, get a couple false starts, give them some long, down in distance. Um, Maybe force a turnover or two. I think we'll be sitting pretty around
yeah,
6 o'clock on Sunday.
yeah. I'm feeling good about it, man. I would not be more ecstatic if they make it. I mean, I'm not gonna get too confident, but if you make it there, you might as well try to make it one more. But if
Yeah,
you go ahead and get this one done, it really is mission complete. By all standards, you turned it around, and was in the mix. So that's
yeah,
all you can ask for. Yeah,
100%.
I'm feeling good.
Got anything else for him before we get up out of here?
No, hopefully we can pull it out. You know, and just a complete coaching job. That's one thing we didn't mention. But
Yeah,
that's all. That's all, man. Though, don't do it to
yeah.
us, Dan. Yeah. So,
Go Lions. We'll be with
yeah.
be with
So,
y'all next week.
go Lions.